Welcome to Peeves, Tips, and Tricks. I am Dr. Sherry Bainbridge. There's a lot of talk about organizing the mind, setting your mind, and it's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. Becoming the person that can utilize when you do that may take a little more effort. But what it really means is that you are outlining your mind for the day. So I set my mindset. One, of course, everything I do is with love and care and compassion and kindness and acceptance. Anything that can be a healing, comforting, I'm bringing a piece of heaven on earth, that's where I want my mindset to be. I want to be present with what's going on and not get caught up in emotion that can happen. And let me give you an example of that. Being present doesn't mean that you're inside yourself thinking of you and what's going on. You are aware of what's going on emotionally because that's a divine communication. You have negative emotion arise, and right then and there, you are being told your thinking is off. Find a different way to think about this whole situation. Here's an example, setting my mindset. I got pulled over by a policeman one time. Yep, I was speeding and he pulled me over. And I watched as he got out of his car. He flips that book open and he pulls out his pen. Every essence of authority was about him, and he was going to write me a ticket. So I'm putting up gifts. I notice he has a wedding ring on, that he's likely in his 30s. So I'm assuming he has a couple of small kids. So I'm putting up babysitting coupons and free money and free college and all sorts of gifts that I can think of. Weekends away with his wife, just anything I can think of that might be something his energy might be interested in. Well, he goes back to his police vehicle. He had no reason to help me out at all. And he comes back about 10 minutes later and said, "Ma'am, we've had so many accidents along this stretch of highway that I have no choice but to write you a ticket." I took my ticket, I thanked him, he's just doing his job, I get it, I was speeding. Well, I looked at the ticket, and instead of writing it for 15 miles over, he wrote it for 5. So he found a way to help me out, and he had absolutely no reason to do so, except for the energetic exchange that was going on freely. There was no my trying to manipulate, nothing negative. I just put up gifts. That's all I did. What that did for me was put my mind in a different setting. And that kept me from going into emotions that could have sabotaged everything, like fear, or hey, let's just make up a story. You know how that kind of goes. I want to save myself. This is the beginning of everything. You can't do anything without a thought first. And in order to come into the creative beings that we are, the creators, the manifestors that we can be and have the ability to be, it starts with the thought. And that's why so much of our world is focused on keeping you thinking, right? Looped thinking. I'm not good enough. I can't do that. Oh, I'm bad. Oh, they're not going to like me. Oh, everybody's going to think this. You know, none of that matters when you're set right with yourself. So you do have to get right with yourself. You do have to get into that heart center with your brain. And the beginning of that is the intention, which is the outlining of how you're going to be thinking that day, how you're going to be reacting that day. This is so powerful. Let me tell you how this works. When you can put your mind in a different thinking mode, such as rather than finding a classroom setting intimidating and, oh my God, I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to do that. Instead, the person that walks in and embraces the classroom, oh my God, I get to learn something today. You know, what am I going to learn? This is awesome. I am here, I am paying attention, and I am not going to slither into the shadows and just be here in body. I'm truly here to learn. Every moment of every day is exactly like that. We have not only the opportunity to learn, but the bigger opportunity to give help and guidance to others. And I'm not talking about butting in or giving an unsolicited, unasked for opinion, but the opportunity to help align your thoughts, your thinking for the day. What's acceptable, what's not going to be acceptable. I've been working on my cuss words. Mostly I can do pretty good with it, but when I'm sitting in front of the computer, psychic energy messes with everything. It's very, very frustrating. Those words can fly out of my mouth. And today I did much better with it. Why? Because it was a part of my mind outline. For the past many days, it takes time to develop new habits, to break old habits, and to open new doors. And this takes time too. Letting go of what we think we know, that's huge. That's huge. You let go of all of that, quit thinking you've got it figured out, because it really doesn't matter. What matters is how you're living and how you're playing this role, if you want to say that. I have a really hard time with the idea that we're in a game, because it sure doesn't feel that way to me. And maybe you agree. If you like this subject, please do the thumbs up, click the bell for the notifications, and subscribe. And share this with other people and see what their thoughts are on it also, because it takes all kinds of people and all different approaches to make things work for different people. But start with organizing your thoughts and organizing that mind so that your actions and reactions support the thoughts that you have. Really be the person you are becoming. You have to deal with your thinking, and you have to regain control of that thinking and take it out of the hands of those whose ultimate goal is to just separate you from your wallet. We can create so much more on this earth and do so much more. And I can't wait to see where things end up, because there's a lot of really good people out there and a lot of heart-centered people who are trying to make a difference everywhere. Divine love.